Hawaii's 4 mayors agree with the president's plan when it comes to strengthening federal gun laws, but do they think that Hawaii needs tighter restrictions as well? That's one of the stories that our partners at Civil Beat are following this morning, and joining us over Skype is reporter Chad Blair. Good morning, Chad.
Good morning.
So Hawaii has some of the strictest gun laws in the nation. Do you think the mayors think that anything needs to be changed here?
Well, I know Mayor Kirk Caldwell here in Honolulu said improving mental health background checks and services probably would be a good idea. But the general feeling for all 4 county mayors is, we don't have a lot of fatalities by gunshot. Everybody seems to know each other. We're friendly. We're related. We don't quite need the same restrictions that are being proposed at the federal level, and that includes an assault weapons ban and more ammo checks and registration rules. So the idea is to support the president, but not implement those here at home.
It's interesting when you look at the differences here and versus the nation. In another story, putting a parent in an adult daycare home is a really difficult decision for family members, and now lawmakers want to give families more information. How are they trying to do that?
Well, we have 51 nursing homes in the state that do put inspection records online. The idea being proposed in legislation is to have about 2,000 adult care homes do exactly the same thing. That way you know what you're getting into and where you're putting your loved ones. The concern from groups that run those adult care homes is that, well, that's an invasion of our privacy, and it's going to cost the state a lot of money to put those records online.
Civil Beat is also working on a story about an idea on buying Turtle Bay. Wasn't that Governor Linda Lingle's idea?
That was her idea, but in fact, that never did come to fruition. Right now, a state senator who represents Kahuku, which is where Turtle Bay is located, wants to give the state up to $100 million, about $50 million over the next 2 years, $100 million total to buy the resort. The goal is to preserve the rich cultural and historical heritage of the area. As you know, there are very controversial plans to expand the Turtle Bay Resort area.
And Chad, what's the latest on Governor Abercrombie's preschool initiative?
They're moving. On Friday, several measures passed out of both the education committees in House and Senate. One of those would require a constitutional amendment to allow the state to spend money on private preschools. Hawaii, only half of our kids actually go to preschool. We're one of only 11 states that doesn't fund preschool programs.
And all of those advocates say that preschool education helps in later years. Chad, I have to ask you about the Super Bowl. I know you watched it. There were the ads, the entertainment, and of course the game itself. What was the highlight for you?
I tell you, that blackout was a surreal moment. I've never seen anything like that, and I was watching my Twitter feed while that was going on, and several people were saying, that's the last Super Bowl you're going to have in New Orleans, and I have to agree, that is probably the case. Very sad commentary. That city's really come back strong since the hurricane a couple of years ago.
It sure has, and I know New Orleans wants to have another Super Bowl there, but I think Jay-Z was saying, oh yeah, that's because of Beyonce. You can blame Beyonce with her electrifying performance with the blackout.
So to speak.
All right, Chad, thanks for joining us on this Monday, and we'll see you on Wednesday.
Sounds good. Bye-bye.
You can find the complete stories that we just discussed on civilbeat.com. It is 6:38. We'll be right back.